Morning, dear students. We completed in the previous class what is company management and what is the need for directors and uh, what do you mean by executive and non-executive directors and number of directors as well as what is the rules for women director. Today we will see types of directors. There are different categories of directors based on their involvement in the level of involvement in the company management. Ordinary directors, another type of director is managing director, old time director, executive director, additional directors, as well as alternate director, professional directors, nominee directors, independent directors, small shareholders directors. We will see one by one. Ordinary directors. Ordinary directors simply they attend board meeting of a company and participate in the matters put before the board. Ordinary directors attend the board meeting and simply see the matters which are put before the board. Coming to second type of director, managing director is the one of the most important persons from directors. The powers to do administrative acts of a routine nature, when so authorized by the board, such as the power to affix the common seal of the company to any document or to draw and endorse any check or any account of the company in any bank or to draw and endorse any negotiable instrument or to sign any certificate or share or to direct registration or a transfer of any share. These are all the powers of managing director. Managing director has to do some uh, special duties and he acts as he has substantial powers of management of the affairs of the company and includes a director occupying the position of managing director. Managing director, by virtue of the articles of a company or an agreement with the company or a resolution passed in its general meeting or by its board of directors, is entrusted with substantial powers of management of the affairs of the company. So, managing director can be appointed by its permitted to appoint one person as managing director with the permission of its articles of association, or it may be resolution passed in general meeting or by the board of directors. So, in these three different situations, managing director may be any director act as a managing director. Managing director look after the routine nature of works authorized by the board. Next, whole time director or executive directors. A director in the whole time employment of the company working as whole time employment, then they are known as whole time directors or executive directors. Additional directors. According to section 161 of the Companies Act 2013, according to 161 section of the Companies Act 2013, additional directors are appointed by the board. Additional directors are appointed by the board between the two annual general body meetings, subject to the provisions of the Articles of Association. Articles of Association permitted to appoint to anyone as additional director, then any person appointed as additional director between the two annual general body meetings. Additional director should hold office only up to the date of the next annual general meeting of the company. So, when additional director's term will be completed, that is the basic question. Additional director term will be completed by coming next general body meeting. So, next one is alternate director. According to section 161, 161 also says about alternate director also. Alternate director is a person appointed by the board, if so authorized by the articles or by a resolution passed by the company in the general meeting to act as a director is called the original director during his absence for a period of not less than 3 months from India. Right? Next, coming to professional directors. Every company has n number of activities for that professionals guidance is necessary to perform all different activities of the company. Then the company goes to appoint professionals as directors. Any director possessing professional qualifications and do not have any pecuniary interest in the company are called as professional directors. Sometimes the board appoints professionals of different fields as directors to utilize the experience in the management of the company. Expertise, they are expertise in their fields. Chartered accountants and different bank officers, different personals, economists, from different professionals have their expertise knowledge in that particular field. If the big size companies decided to appoint professionals as directors and they may appoint as directors, then we can say that they are professional directors. Nominee directors. The banks and financial institutions. We know company incorporation needs lot of capital and lot of finance, lot of funds. Further sake, companies may go for financial assistance to the banks or financial institutions. In some cases, that particular bank or that particular financial institutions, for granting financial assistance to a company, generally they impose a condition as to appoint of their representative on the board of that particular company. Financial institutions nominee may be joined in the company's directors. Then those are called, they are called as what we call nominee directors. Financial assistance given by financial institutions or banks, they impose condition while granting the financial assistance, while granting the loan from the banks. They impose to appoint one member from their institution as representatives on the board. Then if we appoint representatives of different financial institutions where we brought the finance, where we get the finance, where we acquire the assistance of from that particular financial institution, we appoint those, their representatives on the board as directors, then we can say that they are nominee directors. Another one is independent directors. Independent directors in every public limited company appoint at least two independent directors according to section 149(5). At least two independent directors. Which type of public company? If the public company paid up share capital is rupees 10 crore or more. X, for example, you take X company's paid up share capital is 10 crore. Then that particular company has to appoint at least two independent directors on that board. No, based on turnover, it may be decided. If the company's turnover is 100 crore or more, if you consider share capital, that is 10 crore or more. If you consider turnover of the company, that is 100 crore or more. In these two situations, at least two independent directors can be appointed by the company as independent directors. And in additional condition is are having in aggregate outstanding loans, debentures and deposits 50 crore or more. Outside debentures, outside loans 50 crore or more. If the company in these three conditions, any of the one condition fulfilled, then that company has to appoint two independent directors. What are the conditions? Once again we see. First condition is if the share capital of the company, paid up share capital is of the company is 10 crores or more. If the turnover of the company 100 crores or more. If the outstanding loans of the company in the term in the form of debentures and other loan, other deposits 50 crore or more, then that particular company has to appoint two independent directors. Every listed company, at least 1/3 of the total number of directors should be independent directors. Last director is small shareholders director. Before going to appoint small shareholders director, we have to understand who is small shareholder. According to section 152(1) of Companies Act 2013, any shareholder having the worth of shares, not number of shares, worth of shares below 20,000 up to 20,000 rupees, then that particular shareholders are called as small shareholders. Small shareholders may have directors. If the paid up capital of company is 5 crores or more, or the small shareholders may appoint one shareholder directors, it is not mandatory, it is optional.